Hello guys, I'm Simone from Epica, currently in Montreal, Canada, and you are colliding with Yale magazine.
The Holographic Principle was released on the 30th of September, and it's a great album. I haven't been able to stop listening to it for the last couple of weeks. And you've said that it's an ambitious album. Can you explain that further for our audience?
Yeah, ambitious in a way that we always try to reinvent ourselves, get the best result out of us, working with a really good team. Our producer, Joost van den Broek, also Stefan Heilemann, artwork, our mixer, Jacob Hansen, the photographers we work with. We like to challenge ourselves to come up with the best result, so I guess that's what you can call ambitious.
And there's you've said several times that there's a lot of live instrumentation during the recording. But for me, the crescendos and the decrescendos of the album as a whole are great, but I find I'm a thrash metal fan, so I really like and appreciate the amount of guitar work that's on that. Was that a conscious decision, or?
That's mainly also coming from Isaac, our lead guitarist. He's also been writing a lot of songs. All five of the guys have been writing songs for this record, and he's a thrash metal fan, so the guitars are more up front in the mix, so that even comes more forward as well. And it kind of gave Epica another dimension. I guess the guitar work has improved vastly over the last couple of years, and melodies are often carried by guitars, not only by the orchestra.
And as your seventh album, you're obviously not playing the whole thing live. What songs are in rotation, and what's your favorite to play so far?
Well, of course, our singles, Edge of the Blade, Universal Death Squad. Edge of the Blade is also the first song on the CD after the intro, and that's a little bit of tradition that we've always been doing. Whichever CD is newest, that's the intro and the first song we'll play. That's how we enter or start the show with. And we're going to play about 5 or 6 new songs, and the rest will be filled up with golden oldies, I guess.
Right. What's been a fan favorite of the new material so far?
Oh, good question. It varies. A lot of people like the ballad Once Upon a Nightmare because it's very different and it's very dark. Universal Death Squad has been a favorite of many people from the beginning. Even the journalist, when we did the listening sessions before the CD lineup was even finalized. I guess Universal Death Squad, Immortal Melancholy, which is not even on the CD, is also a great ballad a lot of fans like. And I've heard All Songs Come by Ascension is also a great favorite because it's very different. It's written by our bass player. It has a lot of black and death metal in it in a way. The atmosphere in that song is amazing, and we'll play that one live as well. It's proven to be a great live song.
So, being Rob's second album, it's his contribution is noticed, recognized, and appreciated.
Yeah, he wrote a song for the Quantum Enigma as well. It's called In All Conscience, and it's also one of my favorite songs. Too bad it didn't make the album back then, but Ascension was a song that some of us were fighting for. That's a great song, and fans love it, so we did right, I guess.
There's some leaders right now in the tech industry who believe that, and they're trying to prove that we're living in a Matrix-like world, and I believe that speaks to the overall theme of the album. Can you expand on that?
Well, yeah, the holographic principle is kind of a studies within the physics that they are researching at this moment. So it's not just a made-up theme. It's actually being worked on, and virtual reality is kind of a tool to find out or to finally realize and see that reality is simulated. So realistically, what does it say about this reality, But Mark and I split up the lyrics. He's the one that came with the holographic principle idea, reading documentaries, reading books, watching documentaries, and I am more the philosopher. I like to question everything.
Okay. I was going to ask what your source of lyrical inspiration was, what type of books you're reading or what are you watching. You just answered kind of a bit of that. Did you happen to come across, this might sound nerdy, but there's an old original Star Trek series episode where they have the brains in the vat and that type of thing?
I'm Star Trek is more for my husband. He's the one who's watching Star Trek episodes when I'm on tour because we don't watch it together. So I don't know it.
Okay. But can you name any specific books that you were reading or documentaries that you're watching?
For Mark, I know that he's a great fan of Leonard Susskind, so he's been watching documentaries that he released on YouTube, and he's reading books. Probably some are in his suitcase right here. And I draw a lot of inspiration out of movies. Like a big movie that for me and Mark was very important was The Matrix, of course, and Inception. I'm very much intrigued by dreams, and that's also kind of a different reality that we can create ourselves. So I find that very interesting and draw a lot of inspiration out of there.
Can you talk about the album art and how it relates to the theme? And who was the artist?
The artist is Stefan Heilemann from Heilemania. We've been working with him since the Classical Conspiracy. And we explained him a little bit what the Holographic Principle was about, the lyrical topics, the color scheme, what we had in mind, because with each record we have like a main color spectrum in which we want to work with. Of course, being at the Holographic Principle, you can play a little bit with holographic colors. Even for me, the makeup artist part of me goes wild for stage makeup and photo shoots, video shoots. And what you basically see is us looking into space, perceiving the world falling apart. You have the little, how do you call them, triangles in the corner, which kind of present for non-organic life. And then in the end you see the leaves, which represent organic life. You see the earth being flat and round at the same time, because people are discussing that as well. Yeah. What else? Yeah, you see, you see behind her eye, you see the earth as well. It's like the universe, and how we perceive it, our perception of reality, and the clash between natural and artificial life.
How did the second Epic Metal Fest go last month? And will it be back again? And what bands would you like to invite?
We've had the second and third edition, our second Dutch edition. The third was in Brazil. We had a Brazilian edition. And it went really well. The Dutch one, with each Epic Metal Fest, we worked together with partners. Like in Brazil, we had a booker that booked a band with us. In the Netherlands, we have Mojo, so we have our partners that help us organize this whole thing, because it's quite a thing to get started. But already from the first edition, we had amazing bands that we never thought, like we had this idea, and okay, let's try to get it work. And we had so many cool bands that we respect and love since many years play on our festival. That was amazing. And the second edition was basically built around our CDE presentation, and Brazil was for us a country where we wanted to play. Like, we wanted to take it to an international level, maybe do it each year in a different country. It doesn't always have to be in the Netherlands. And it was amazing. I mean, just having your own festival is also the next step for us, I guess.
Right.
Well, I was already really shocked with the bands that we could get the first edition, and it all depends on a series of various factors, if the bands are available, if they want to do it, what their budget is, what our budget is. I would love to have also bigger bands one day, far away with Rammstein, but I guess Rammstein asked for almost $1 million, because of the material, their whole pyro show that they do, it's very expensive. Maybe Lacuna Coil would be great as well. We've had Delane with us, Moonspell, Fear Factory. So we all make our list of bands that we like. Yeah. And then we just started contacting them, seeing if they're available, what their fee is, and then we like to also select different metal bands, not just fish in the same pond. Like, have a nice array of different metal bands to attract also a larger audience, I guess.
Right. And as a final question, you've mentioned Rammstein, and I know you're a fan of soundtracks. But what do you sing in the shower?
Not much. Yeah, I actually don't sing a lot in the shower. Last time I remember singing in the shower, that was a couple years ago in London. I was singing Mary Poppins. I don't know. Can be everything. But I sing a lot in the kitchen when I'm cooking and I'm cleaning dishes, and sometimes it's Epica, sometimes movies. Lately we watched A Nightmare Before Christmas. I was singing along that. So, like you say, soundtrack, Epica,
Right.
children's songs as well.